Alright, we're back with another casual gamer walkthrough, but this one's a bit of a switch up from the last two. I don't usually play sniper all that often, but it's one of those playstyles I always come back to, and when it works, it's really satisfying. So in this video I wanted to show that you can still be effective as a sniper, even in fast-paced, objective-heavy modes like Escalation. So this isn't about sitting in the back and just farming kills. I mean, I do that a bit, and you'll see. But it's really about picking the right moments, supporting pushes from range, and still having a real impact on the objectives. This round ends up being a solid one for my limited skills as a sniper, but I end up with 28 kills, 8 deaths, and I think 11 objective captures, and we get a win for the team. So a good mix of long-range play and staying involved in the game. So if you're someone who enjoys sniping or wants to start using this class more, but feels like it doesn't always translate well into these objective modes, this should give you a good idea of how to start to try to make this work. So let's get into it. So for the recon class, I still have my M44 for my secondary. It's kind of my go-to secondary. I use C4. I don't actually think I use any in this match, but I always have it just in case a tank rolls up. Have the recon drone. Again, I don't really think I use it, so this is probably not the best example of how to utilize your recon class to the full potential, but still have this attached. I have frag grenade, and then of course the melee knife, as always, just to cover ground quicker. So I'm using the mini scout, which I think everyone at this point knows is just insanely good. Right now I have an 8x scope on it. I have the violet laser still for that side-to-side accuracy. I've got the brake. Well, it's the compensated brake. I've got the 16-inch pencil light barrel. We got the angled 10-round fast mag and the standard ammunition. All right, we're jumping right into this one. Right away, I see A is already getting taken, so I'm gonna spawn on there, see if I can help clear it out. It's really gonna test my sniping skills. So again, I'm a very casual sniper. Missed that first shot, and I get the second one, not bad. So again, you know, this is a casual gamer guide. I am not a professional sniper, but it's fun, satisfying. Got a headshot there. It's just always so crisp in these Battlefield games. So we're gonna see how we can do. See if we can push objectives, still be relevant without just sitting in the back. So A gets taken off the map pretty quickly there. We're going to try to push more central. And really all the tips I gave in the last videos still apply when you're playing as sniper. The difference being, if you're going to play up close and personal, you really got to be able to hit your shots. And I recognize I can't always do that with a sniper, so I'll keep a bit more distance now. Do a lot more spotting. I should really use the drone more in this match, and I don't, just to help the teammates out. Escalation's a bit fast-paced, so I find the drone is not always super effective. That usually plays a bigger role for me when I'm playing Breakthrough as a sniper. But so yeah, again, same technique though. I'm continuously looking at momentum and where we're capturing. So I saw them pushing C, so I'm going to go over there and see what I can do. So there's 5 people on C, and as a sniper, I'm not going to be able to do much. Yeah. And they kind of found out where I was pretty quick. I tried to put down the motion sensor just so that we could, if any of our teams come in, we could give them some insight, but they just took it out. So I considered going on our squad mate, but just as a sniper in the midst of all of that chaos, I'd probably die pretty quick. So I decided to spawn a little bit further back. They're pushing B anyways, so we're going to see if we can provide some support there. Get a quick kill. And I just can't hit my shots all the time. But yeah, it's really just about practice. I mean, the gun range actually helps quite a bit to set up your sniper and go in there and get some headshots on those farther targets. I did that before this match just to kind of get used to it again. Let's move. And it's important you find a secondary that you really feel comfortable with, because when you are pushing objectives as a sniper, I do tend to rely on my secondary quite a bit. Like you can see, I pull out the pistol here just in case. So now we have a bunch of people swarming. I'm just trying to stay relevant, keep a number on the point until we get some help. We have a squad mate behind us. Let's see if he pushes up to help. Yeah, so he's in, so now we've kind of stabilized the objective. And now with the motion sensor down, you get a good idea of where they were. So there was a guy inside. Yeah, he's still there. Just kind of buying time. I can't rush these guys like I normally would if I was playing Engineer or Assault. But again, like I've done in some of my other tutorials, is really just staying relevant on the objective and hope that your squad mates can get in here and help out. Doesn't always happen, but when you're not able to play aggressively, it's just a way to buy some time. So somehow they don't know I'm sitting here in the corner yet. I'm sure they'll figure it out pretty quick. Yeah, that guy knew. I was trying to stay quiet, but he saw me. Yeah, so not good momentum here. We're down 3-2. Trying to figure out where to go. I think I'm going to stay central, stay on C. Kind of a bad place for the motion detector, but just want to get it down. I like to put it down on objectives just so it's relevant. You can put it anywhere, obviously, but if you're in the middle of a field, there's just going to be less traffic there, less of your teammates there to take advantage of the motion sensing. So it looks like we restabilized B, but yeah, just like that, C is now getting taken, so we're going to push back up. And again, since I'm sniping, I'm taking more of a longer range approach here than I normally would, just to see if I can get any info before I run in there. And with this mini scout, you can really still take advantage without getting a headshot. With other sniper rifles with their slow rate of fire, if you don't get that first headshot, you're almost always dead. But this rate of fire is so fast that you can honestly aim for the body sometimes and still have a chance to get the kill. And so obviously with these further targets, bullet velocity is key. The higher the bullet velocity, obviously, the less you have to leave the target. It's just practice. You know, I'm not good at it, but it's fun, especially when you land those headshots from so far. It's just so satisfying. So right now I'm not really pushing, you know, whatever I said, you know, this isn't about kill farming, but what you can see is we had 3 of the objectives, so I was kind of just buying some time. But you notice I noticed that C got taken pretty quick, so then I reassessed. I'm going to go push back on the objective. Whenever we kind of take advantage as a sniper, then that's when I like to kind of sit back, maybe somewhere central, and just see if I can get some kills. And I miss every shot because I'm just really good at sniping. Even if you're missing shots as a sniper, it's still important because you can spot these players for your teammates. Obviously, I'd prefer to get the kills, but until I get better at hitting my shots, it is what it is. Someone seldomly ejected, but we got plenty of teammates. Just taking a different angle, decided to go check it out one more time. I pulled out my secondary just because there's no way I'm going to hit a sniper shot this close. I just don't have that skill. Yeah, some guy runs out, get him. And again, the secondary that feels right for you may not be the M44. I think it's worth trying out different ones, seeing how they feel. Sometimes I go back and forth and this one isn't feeling great and I'll switch it up, but it's been feeling good lately. It's got a lot of damage. But of course, only with 6 bullets in the magazine. If you miss your shot a few times, you know, you're kind of screwed. But if you miss your shot in a secondary at all anyways, you're pretty much screwed anyway. So that's why I feel like it works for me right now.
Contact! Hostile troops sighted!
So again, before I pushed, since I'm a sniper, I'm just checking it out from range. And now I can push in once I feel like we kind of have a bit of momentum.
Enemy contact in my AO.
I find what I do with sniping is, you know, I hard scope. It's not Call of Duty, it's Battlefield. I hard scope for sure. And I'm just trying to like predict where these players are moving and keeping my body under cover as much as possible. Like I always talk about that in my other guides. It's really about minimizing your exposure. It's just a harder target, obviously, for the enemy to hit you. All right, so we reestablished the momentum here. I'm going to go see what's going on at C, put down the motion sensor again, see if we pick anyone up in these corners. He's in the far corner. We got him. Just hanging out a little bit to see if any stragglers push in. Yep, there's some guy back there. Here I'm just trying to get a little head glitch back there, trying to see if I could peek over, but there's definitely action up above. Someone's skydiving in there. See a shadow. Minimizing my exposure here. Even though I'm sitting in the open, but you know. Yeah, so there's that kind of points to one of my other comments I always make in the guides, which is I was under fire, and it's really good when you're in the line of sight. You're sliding around, you're getting to cover. You don't want to just run straight. That's an easy target. And, you know, they're really trying to, I think, improve over time this netcode. It's still not very good, so you can still get killed when you're already behind cover, but they're working on it, and so, like, eventually that slide behind cover will pay off more and more. It still pays off now, but it'll pay off even more. You'll stop dying behind cover, I think, eventually, once they fix all that. So we don't have the momentum now. As a sniper, I'm just not comfortable sprinting out into the open there, so I'm just trying to see if there's anyone in route to an objective that I could pick off. D is just, like, heavily contested, so I'm just trying to see if anyone's up on the hill. This is the part in the match, I think, where I'm probably the least effective for the team. I'm trying to give some spots, try to pick off some kills. I just don't have a good shot, so I'm not really doing much. And now what I'm not noticing is they're actually taking C. So this is kind of, you know, where the farm killing, or the kill farming comes into play, where, you know, just keeping your awareness of how the game is going is important. So I think here I recognize that there's people on C, so I'm re-diverting back again. See if I can help out. Yeah, and it was too late. So they have quite a swing here, momentum. Just gonna make sure, I'm sure they're gonna push B, so I wanted to spawn back here. Make sure they don't get that. Just keeping an eye on them pushing down. Yeah, here comes a guy. Teammates got him. Yeah, and here they pop out of C. So this is really just trying to, you know, predict where the next push is going to come from them. Again, as a sniper, it's you got to sit back a little bit unless you have a really quick shot, which I acknowledge I don't. Just trying to get some different vantage points and move up. That was a pretty good shot for me. Put down the motion sensor just because I feel like they're pushing in this area, so I want to get an idea. Is there anyone directly in my proximity? So there's a guy shooting up here. He's showing up, multiple people. See if we can sneak up on him. Pull out my secondary because I'm not going to hit that shot with my sniper. There he is. Pick him off if I can hit my shot there. I'm just being patient now. We got some help from teammates. They're pushing forward, but yeah, you can just feel it's hot. A lot of movement, and I missed the second shot there. And I feel like, you know, it's practice. You play sniper enough, you'll start hitting those shots more. You'll start leading people the right way. But nevertheless, it's still fun. I enjoy it. I just got to get better at the mid-range and short-range gunfights as a sniper. And obviously the really far shots are always tough. You gotta gauge the distance and the lead time and all that, but so now we're pretty much in a stalemate. We're down an objective though, so this next one is obviously crucial, otherwise we'll lose. I keep spawning on B, and I just feel like it kind of gives me a good starting point, good advantage. Allows you to kind of push up into C when the time's right. Our team is pushing, so you can see them all at the entrance here. We're gonna go try to provide some support and perhaps take a different angle. Oftentimes when all your team is just kind of sitting here, everyone's focused here. But when you're playing as a sniper, you can kind of sit back a little bit and still get a view without exposing yourself. Put down the motion sensor again. Yeah, that was a quick shot for me. Get the assist. And just like that, we took C in the momentum, huge momentum swing. And I think that's what's really fun about this escalation in Battlefield 6 is when you can time it right and you just happen to sync up with a good team, you can switch that momentum so fast. And it means you're never really out of it, which is kind of fun. I like that. Sometimes I think when I play Breakthrough, you just get on a bad team and you're done. You can't do anything about it. You can't establish yourself on any of the lines, and it's just you just get blown over. Lots of hit markers, but you know, it still helps your team. Reduces the health, obviously, but also spots them, and yeah, team cleans it up. You still get the assist. It's all good. So we've been avoiding D. I always tend to struggle up on D, but we're going to see if we can provide some help, again, from the outskirts. So I'm taking a different angle. I'm going to go wide. No point running up the center when there's multiple different angles people can be shooting me from, especially when I'm going to sit back a little bit. So just find a little head glitch, kind of checking out the edge. There's a guy just running for his life. And now we're just providing a number. So you notice I just barely crouch into the objective. This way I'm minimizing how much people are seeing me, but still contributing to the capture. If I was playing assault or engineer or support or something, I might push up with to that rock where everyone's at and provide some additional help. But again, I kind of want to stay on the outskirts here just as a sniper. I don't trust my shot enough. Another hit marker, get the kill. And we finally get the capture. And while all that was happening, they ended up capturing B behind us, so the momentum kind of swung back. It took a lot of effort to capture D. I think a lot of our team pushed over there. It doesn't really pan out all the time. I feel like that's kind of why I tend to avoid D. I feel like it's a really good vehicle-heavy objective, so taking a tank, taking a some type of four-wheeler that's loaded up with teammates, that's probably your best bet. So I'm trying to get a better place to start, but there wasn't much, so I'm going to take advantage of this tank rolling into B, see if we can help and reestablish ourselves in the back. So that was a pretty easy capture. I'm guessing it was just like one or two people from the other team that snuck back. So, it's always easy. I would say the easier objectives to capture tend to be the ones closest to your spawn. I mean, it makes sense. But it's always important to make sure you have them. When you lose them in Escalation, it seems like that's always when you get the landslides one way. So you really got to reestablish that early. Sometimes a boring objective to get, but it's crucial for winning that round. And I've noticed, especially on Contamination, when we play Escalation, that C is always also one of those momentum swingers. D, I feel like, is just a distraction. People go over to the D and then spend a lot of resources trying to capture that, while, like what just happened before, and then the other team ends up capturing all these other smaller objectives, and the momentum really swings. I kind of hope they balance D a little bit. Maybe they do a map update sometime in the future. I just feel like it's so exposed, and I don't know, it's uninteresting to me. And somehow they keep sneaking back to B. But I'm guessing there's not too many people. So I'm just keeping an eye, trying to spot some people from the team. Yeah, there's the guy coming in on the edge. Get the spot assist. And yeah, I think your objective when you play sniper is just, your mindset's a little different. Unless you're an incredibly good shot. I'm not trying to get first place here and get the most kills, have the best KD. But what I am trying to do is still capture these objectives, still get some kills, obviously, try to get some assists in spots. That's just the nature of me not being able to hit headshots regularly. But that's still really effective. You'll see in the end here. Now I'm just kind of hanging out in this no man's land, just on the edge. It just felt like they kept trying to push back to B. Obviously, B's off the map now, but I'm sure there's some people lagging here, so I noticed there's some people on D still kind of on the edge. And this late game Escalation on Contaminated always forces you to now pay attention to D, which is my least favorite part, but it is what it is. I just put that down since I need to regenerate my health, so I just want to make sure no one's sneaking up on me since I got spotted after getting hit by that sniper. Just trying to get some spots for the team, see if I can get hit any shots. I get one. And somehow I get him when he's running, but I can't get him when he's standing still. So I saw this guy with the sensor, and I couldn't finish him off, but that's the benefit of using the motion sensor. If you can hit your shots, you can see these guys sneaking up on you. So I'm deciding between D and C. Yeah, the spawn beacon went away, so C it is, but we were able to somehow capture both, even though they were both heavily contested. So I see there's a guy on the ground level there. I'm sure this is obvious to most people, but when you get the solid orange-red circle, that means they're on the same elevation as you. And when it's not, with the little, I don't know what it is, a little black triangle, Yeah, I think it's a triangle. If it's down, that means they're below you, and if it's up, they're above you. That's probably most people know that, but in case you didn't, it's a useful tip. So yeah, right now is the time when you got 2 of the 3 objectives. There's no need to just sit on the objective. So I'm just taking angles, checking. We just want to make sure we maintain these objectives now. And again, since I'm not an engineer, I'm not support, I'm not pushing. I'm not going to go try to push E necessarily. I mean, we might do from the edge, but it's really now just about maintaining it. Now you can kind of sit back, play that long range more effectively. This tank rolls in. And this is where if I played, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to use the C4. If I played as Recon more, I would have totally taken advantage of that and taken out that tank. But anyways, our team grabs the tank anyway, so that ends up working out in our favor. Somehow missed that. So I had spotted someone on the outside. That's why I was kind of coming out cautiously. Again, I think I always talk about this in my other game walkthroughs, is I'm always looking at the mini-map. That's something you just always got to keep in mind. Always looking down. It's just a habit. I think when I first started playing first-person shooters, I didn't do it enough. There's just so much going on, obviously. You're focusing just on hitting a shot, focusing on moving towards an objective. But once you get comfortable, if you're new to first-person shooters, or you're trying to get better, you really got to focus on the mini-map and multitask. You'll get way more kills. You'll recognize where you need to be on the map quicker. You'll be more effective ultimately in the long run. I think it's something that I'm still growing into and like using it more and more frequently, and now it's just routine. When I'm not focusing on a single person, like right now, I'm probably not looking at the mini map directly, but when I'm moving, when I'm not aimed down sight, I'm looking at that mini map. So again, we lost that second objective, so now it's obviously the momentum swung back. So now is probably not the time to just sit up here, but again, I don't always trust my shot, so I'm playing it safe. We're going to see what's going on with E. I just don't like D, and yeah, there's a tank coming straight for us, so not a good idea. And this is where one of those moments where I'm just not very effective. So I think what I would work on here is probably trying to figure out what's the next best move. Like, should I deploy a drone and try to help out my teammates on each of the objectives, try to get them some spots? So here I'm just pushing up because I feel like I need to do something. I was just kind of sitting in no man's land. There's no one really running out. I wasn't getting kills. I wasn't getting spots. So I'm just trying to reposition. Try to give a number on this objective. See if we can put any pressure. And yeah, you're just in the open here. That's why I just don't like D. We got a medic sitting on the edge, but he doesn't look motivated to rush in here, which is all good. Doesn't look like he's moving much at all. So I notice we're taking E. I'm like waiting to see if we can capture it, see if I can jump on there. There's a tank I can get on. Nice. Oh, it didn't work. So I'm back at C. That's right. We captured E, and now we're putting heavy pressure on D. And these are the moments in Escalation where it just really, this is when you get the landslide at the end. It just, when there's a fewer objectives, you can just put a lot of pressure. There, I'm slip sliding around trying to make my target for this person harder. Yeah, one of our other teammates saw him. Everyone's rushing up there. We should be good. Just making sure. Alright, so now we're in an interesting position. They retook E, but we have 2 of the 3 objectives. So there's no need to rush in there and just die. So I'm just going to hang out on the edge, see if I can pick people off, because obviously they're going to be spawning here and running out. So I kind of want to see if we can hold this line. Test my shot a little bit here. Counter snipe there, that was a good one. Yeah, so you can see they're starting to cross over. They're trying to get back to D. Good time to practice your shots, because clearly I need it. Giving the spots for the teammates. And this is where I'm not looking at the money map. So if you notice, there's a bunch of enemies running up behind. Would have been a good time to turn around. There's someone sneaking up behind me, actually. Get a hit marker, get a kill. So we got a teammate pushing up on E. So now I'm gonna peek it. Get a kill. There's a bunch of people in there. What I should have done there is actually spotted. I was more trying to get the kill, but I should have spotted since I had teammates trying to get in there. Yeah, he's still focusing on it too. So again, I think if you have a good shot, it's effective to still stay what I was doing and focusing in there. I'm not as good of a shot, so it probably would have been more effective for me to deploy the drone maybe and going in there and try to spot whoever's sitting there, help the teammate who's pushing it, since I can't hit any of these shots. I'm trying to use this rock as a head glitch though. Guy flying in there on a bike. So we lost D there somehow, and I was too focused on that hangar. So now we got to make a move. We either got to take E, or some part of our team's got to push D. But you can see we got a lot of numbers right now focused on E. So it probably makes sense to just keep this and try to push in. We just need another ounce of momentum and we'll win. You can see we're basically the bar's full. So now I'm hitting my shots. And then I get snuck up on. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. While it's not as exciting as putting up 50 plus kills with a meta SMG like some of our other walkthroughs, I still really enjoy sniping, so I hope this was useful for any of you trying to branch out more from other classes. Anyways, leave a comment down below if you found this video useful or if you have any tips that have helped you improve your sniping along the way. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to spread some positivity, and I'll see you in the next one.
Sniper, use cover!